and welcome to Storyboard. I am Naomi Datta. We start with the ratings for IPL 6. Here's what it looks like. These are the ratings for the first 16 matches. Average ratings for 15 plus male SEC ABC households stand at 4.6. Now, while on Storyboard we had speculated that this is a plateauing property, there is cause for some concern in this set of numbers because this shows an 8% drop compared to the average for the first 16 matches for IPL 5. Now, should the various stakeholders be worried, or is it too early to ring alarm bells? Pavni Mittal does some number crunching.
The 6th edition of the Indian Premier League has not been short on the usual drama. Super overs, slang fests, and some quality cricket. But despite having all the ingredients to keep the viewer hooked, the ratings tell a different story. The first 16 matches notched up an average of 4.6 TVR. That's 8% lower than the 5 TVR that IPL 5 had got for the first 16 matches. However, the news is not as bad as it sounds, as these are not like-to-like comparisons. In February, TAM began measurement in LC1 towns in these 5 states. LC1 towns are towns with a population of less than 1 lakh. And it is here that the viewership of the IPL is a cause for concern.
The drop in rating versus last year is a bit surprising. But if you look back, the probable reasons seem to be two. I think one is with this new edition of the LC1 markets, in the time universe, which they have significant weightage as well, about 17%. If you look at just the 6 ratings alone, they've dropped about 50% in LC1 markets. So probably in hindsight, splitting the feed between Max and 6 was not a great idea.
If we not had the Hindi feed, probably the drop would have been more, according to us, because clearly we've seen it not only with us. I mean, when you see with our competitors who've done Hindi feed channels on other tournaments, it's all obviously augmented the ratings. So I don't think that aspect is true. The 6 Hindi feed has certainly helped us build this viewership in that market, because the LC1 market is an important market. But I think where it is a concern not only to us but to every broadcaster today is on the stability of the TAM panel on this LC1 market, because there is a huge fluctuation on ratings across all genres. So so that's something which we need to look at, and something, yes, you're absolutely right, is also area of concern for us on IPL.
Low scoring matches and perhaps poor performances by icons and teams like Delhi Daredevils have also impacted time spent.
T20 has always been more of a batsman game than a bowler's game, and this year we've had low scoring matches, though the low scoring matches have also gone into the wire. But yeah, from a viewer perspective, he wants to see more 4s and 6s and high scoring games happen. So I think, yeah, you're right, absolutely there, that if we need some high scoring games, and that will really help build the ratings up.
Perfect! But advertisers say that they are happy with the numbers, especially the cumulative reach.
In terms of ratings, we've been comparing it with previous IPLs, but still if I compare it to the other GEC or top rated programs on television, it still remains the biggest media event on Indian television. So that was the bet that we kind of played with. And talking about this year, the numbers that are coming so far are pretty encouraging. 100 million viewers already there. So that's pretty encouraging for us.
We judge effectiveness on the basis of, is our message being seen, heard, understood, reacted to. And I think from the responses that we've been seeing, we're actually delighted at the response our campaign is getting.
And despite minor concerns, overall the media buyer too sees the IPL as a good performer.
I think the expectations that have been built around the IPL have been built by media. It's not been built by Sony or anybody else. Having said that, these numbers, there's a certain market reality, there is fragmentation. Given that fragmentation, these numbers are still very good. They probably compare, they probably are worse off compared to, say last year or the previous years. But in absolute terms, these numbers are still very good. So I don't see cause for concern yet.
Advertisers say that if the average TRPs per game are around 3.8 or 3.9, they would believe that investing in the IPL was a good decision.
But the question is, will the IPL deliver in this range in the remaining 4 weeks of the tournament? In Mumbai, Pavni Mittal.
Well, the